Antares trade apparently getting fraud warnings. I did a review on Antares trade, not too long ago. I think it was a few weeks ago. There's so many of these different platforms coming out of the woodwork every single day, promising people wealth for doing nothing other than investing their hard-earned money for unsustainable ROI. But anyways, today what we're talking about here, Antares trade securities fraud warning from British Columbia, Spain, and Belgium. Okay. What's going on, guys? I thought Antares trade's legit. Hi, this is Rory Singh. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please subscribe. Click that red button and also the bell notification icon. That way you won't miss out on any important information on this channel. I'm usually asked to do reviews by my viewers, and in doing so, sometimes I find some good opportunities, but more often than not, I found some brutal, nasty scams that have stolen billions of dollars worth of crypto from unsuspecting victims. Most people don't know how to distinguish a legitimate opportunity from a scam. And, problem with that idea is, most people usually lose way more than they ever gain with these type of systems. So get into the know, subscribe, and even click on that bell notification icon. That way, every single time I go live with new helpful content, you'll be one of the very first people to get access to this freshly created information that can serve you. Okay. Also, if you're looking for something legit, check out my #1 recommended company platform and system. I used to be a burnt out trucker. I used to drive a truck, stuck in a night shift, 70 hours per week, ran into health issues even because of that shift and because of those hours. I came online, found a blueprint that taught me step by step how to start making money in my spare time, downtime when I wasn't working, and eventually I started seeing income, and I just remained consistent. And then after that, I replaced my income online in just a few hours per day. Okay. Also, get access to a secret interview. This is a system founder of that very same system that I just mentioned, 8-figure master coach. His training is some of the best training I've ever seen online. He's got one hell of a story too. But anyways, in the secret interview, what you're going to get, my story of struggle from foreclosure, bankruptcy, to homelessness, to getting even assaulted by the police, a beat down for no reason, falsely arrested, and then eventually became successful affiliate guys. Okay. Cops, they do a lot of bullshit. There's some good cops, then there's some bad cops. Get access to the story. And the only way that you're going to get access to this Rory Singh exposed story, interviewed by my system founder himself, is by subscribing on this page underneath this video, first link in the description. Okay, I'm thinking this story here can help a lot of you guys. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Antares trade, a new generation investment marketplace, up to 2% daily ROI. Now, the problem with this idea is I did a review on it, and the problem that I saw right off the bat is I'm not seeing any external revenue to pay the investors. Okay. I also noticed that Antares trade, in that initial review, they weren't set up legally anywhere to offer a passive investment opportunity. That means they weren't set up with any securities regulator anywhere in the world. An older fellow, I guess I think he said he was like 65 years old, and he's like, Rory, been around life and all that stuff, and I don't give a shit about all that stuff. I don't care if it's legit. I just want to see ROI. But the problem with that idea and that type of thinking is anything that's not set up legally for the long term, that's not registered with a securities regulator, right? A lot of people who are investing into these schemes don't even know what a securities regulator is. So you guys need to go out there and do some research. Type that in, securities regulator. What is a securities offering? In a nutshell, it's a passive investment opportunity. Even the bank that you guys have hold your money, and even if you have a savings account, they want to give you 0.00001% right on your savings, as an example. Even your bank has to register with the securities regulator in the region that your bank is located. Okay, so with Antares Trade, being that they're representing themselves as an investment opportunity passively for investors, they legally have to register with the authorities. So back to that comment with the older gentleman that said, I don't give a shit, Rory, if they're registered or legal or not. I just want to see ROI. The problem with this idea is once security fraud warnings start to happen, as in the case with Antares Trade, what usually happens is it scares away the new investors from investing into the scheme. Scheme's not a bad word, guys. It could mean good or bad, but any money-making venture is pretty well a scheme created to make money. Even Walmart, Best Buy, right? The big names out there, Apple products, iPhone, right? They're all schemes, right? This is just a different kind of scheme online. And the problem with this scheme is that the network marketers promoting it and affiliates online are telling their prospects, hey, you guys don't have to do anything. You don't have to refer a single soul. There's nothing wrong with affiliate marketing or even network marketing. I've been in network marketing since what, mid to late 80s? So that's over 3 decades, guys. And an affiliate marketer online since 2006. So I've seen a lot of companies, platforms, and systems come and go. But there is a problem when you tell people that, hey, they don't have to refer and you could just get in and you can earn up to 2% daily per day. I've even seen some guys saying, oh, you guys could just play video games and make money. But in the real world, this doesn't really pan out. It doesn't really happen. In the real world, everyone has to do something for the money. Whether you learn affiliate marketing legitimately and you pay your dues online, or you keep facing exit scam over and over. Eventually, Antares Trade, it's my prediction that they will exit scam, right? It's just a matter of when will this happen. And it's usually when network marketing recruitment declines. And it usually declines with these type of issues that Antares Trade is facing today. And what are they facing today? Before we get into the fraud warnings, I'll actually include links to the regulator fraud warnings so that you guys could read them yourself and get more of an understanding how these things play out. But the first thing that stood out to me was this fellow here, Alex Richter. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I know there's a popular blog called Behind MLM, and Behind MLM's calling these guys Boris CEOs. So this is a prime candidate for a Boris CEO. And what does that mean? A Boris CEO, according to Behind MLM? That just means that it's a paid actor pretending to be CEO. Then I'll get some other comments saying, we don't care if he was, Adolf Hitler. I've even had someone say that to me. Hey, Rory, I don't care if Adolf Hitler was our CEO. Once they keep paying us passive ROI. But the problem is when create your foundation in the sand, mean on lies, right, and not on the rock, like Jesus said in Scripture, in the Bible, right? Then it won't last for very long. So you should care if your CEO is real or not. So this is just a fake identity type of opportunity here. Don't believe me? Check out Wiseling reviews. Check out Barak's reviews. So many different schemes out there, usually created by Russians. Most of them, anyways, they hire paid actors and the owners hide behind the scenes. Nowhere to be found because they're usually escaping legal issues. And that's why they hire these guys. So these guys are like, hey, we get paid to, have some fun online and make videos. Hey, it's cool. But then when they have like Interpol and Europol looking for them, right, as was the case with, let me just type that in here, Wiseling, what's his name, Matthias. I love referencing this guy here, Matthias Lapo. Just bear with me for 1 second. I mean, look at this guy. Was another Boris CEO for Weisling, pretending that, what was he pretending? Oh, he was Finnish, but he turned out to be a Russian actor, right? A Russian actor from Moscow and model. He used to even model like hospital clothing, clotheslines, clothes. How do you say that? Clotheslines, clothing, accessories, etc. And yeah, Weisling hired him to be their CEO, and he was pretending to be in Helsinki, in Finland. And it turned out to be, after investigated, people started investigating him. He was just renting an office, or he wasn't even renting. The owners, the anonymous owners that owned Weisling, that own a lot of these schemes, just hired him, rented him, and even rented an office and put their names on like coffee cups and stuff. And the usual spiel. Anyways, Antares trade is no different. Anyways, let's look at the fraud warnings. Here's one for British Columbia. British Columbia, Canada. It's where they make the Supernatural. Well, where they used to film Supernatural, that popular American TV show. It actually was never filmed in the US of A. It was actually filmed over here in Canada, in BC, guys, out near Vancouver somewhere. Anyways, yeah, fraud warning, Antares trade. Antares Trade claims to be located in Hong Kong, and it also claims to offer investment packages, stock trading information, products trading, cryptocurrency promotion. We are aware that Antares Trade accepts BC residents. Antares Trade is not registered to trade in, advise on securities or derivatives in BC. So BC is just outing them, okay? Same thing here, CNMV from Spain. Pursuant second blah 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 securities marketing law, Antares trade not authorized to provide investment services. And then the third one here, I think this is Belgium. FSMA. Okay, this one's for Belgium. How the heck did you guys get in trouble in Belgium, guys? I hardly ever hear of anyone fraud warnings come from Belgium, but apparently they're showing. Oh man, it's hilarious. They're showing a pyramid, fraud, Ponzi scheme, pyramid. Some of you cats promoting these type of deals used to be in legitimate MLM and used to try and sell to your family and friends or strangers, right? 3-foot radius rule. Anyone within 3-foot radius rule or has a heartbeat is your target market. That's the worst type of advice anyways, because they're not. But did you ever promote something like a legitimate affiliate, no, a legitimate network marketing company like Melaleuca or Herbalife or Amway, right? And then you tried to get people into the deal, and then all of a sudden they're asking you, "Hey, is this a pyramid scheme?" Well, what they were talking about was like Antares trade, meaning there's no retailable products or services. The only thing an affiliate or network marketer can market is to make money memberships themselves. But the crazy thing nowadays is that the majority of people who would never join your lotions, potions, and pills business, your MLM business, are willing to sign up and even borrow money from credit to get into these deals, hoping that they're going to somehow create financial freedom without having to do anything. Most of the people that are investing in these type of schemes, like this here, Antares Trade and Cash FX and Qubit Life and Weisling and Barax, on so many different schemes coming out of the woodwork, all the way back to BitConnect. These people are most of them are like middle-aged people, not all of them, but many, and they have like full-time jobs and they have a full-time family life, and they say stuff like, "We don't have any time to do a business, we just want to click a button," right? I don't know. That doesn't seem to be panning out here on the internet. They keep, these type of systems keep getting fraud warnings and then ending up in collapse due to network marketing recruitment drying up. Now, what does that all mean? That means they're not showing any type of revenue outside of people going to other people saying, "Hey, you could get in and you could just make 2% daily every day, forever, and you don't have to refer a single soul. And then the people who hated your MLM and hated the idea of pyramids, they just join. And then they find out the hard way. Some of them will come to videos like this, they'll thumb it down. Oh, we don't like what he's saying, we want to go somewhere else in the land of unicorns and rainbows, and then go and hear what they're saying over there, that hey, you guys could get rich quick and easily. Okay, now it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm trying to hammer a point across. If you're the type of person that doesn't want to do anything or pay your dues online, and buy your own success, meaning pay your dues. You guys know what I'm talking about. Pay your dues, work for your efforts, results that you want to get, work for the results. Then you might as well just do yourself a favor, just get offline. Spend more time, whatever time that you have left after your job, spend it more time with your family. If you don't want to market something legit, problem with that idea is they're not set up for the long term. I've seen some I'll close this off with this idea. I've seen some heavy hitters who have paid their dues in the past by promoting legitimate stuff, built a name, built credibility. But then I'm seeing new people trying to build credibility, but they're promoting like schemes like this here. Most of these passive MLM systems, like Antares Trade, most of them, not all of them, but most of them are free to join for affiliates online and network marketers. But if you're trying to build your name that way, by getting people into a scheme that's going to eventually scam out, and leaving most of the investors SOL, meaning shit out of luck, right? It's not a good way to build, because you can't build credibility. And what I've noticed, based on the comments, a lot of people who come and argue about how good these platforms are and how I have to go on, I should be doing like more research and due diligence and stuff like that. I noticed that most of them don't use their real names. Most of you guys are trying to build a fake alias, an alias that no one truly knows. And that's kind of silly. For the long term, if you want to succeed and you want to create freedom, freedom's energy, money's energy, and you got to leave people in a better place, even if they're not willing to do anything, you have to give them value. Right? The products, services, and platforms have to contain value. A fellow from Nigeria came to my video last night, one of my videos, and I've got over 1,000, well over 1,000 reviews on this channel, this one channel alone. I've got more channels. And all of the stuff that I reviewed exit scammed, just like I predicted when I reviewed them. But a fellow came from Nigeria and he says F-U-C-K affiliate marketing, Rory. And he's trying to create freedom over in Nigeria. But he doesn't understand the laws of success. Even if you're in Nigeria, even if you're in Zimbabwe, as an example. I'm not knocking on these countries, I'm just getting comments from them telling me, hey, legit affiliate marketing, it's F-U-C-K, Rory. It's shit, it's bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. Anyways, it comes down to you. If you're in one of those countries and you're trying to create freedom for yourself and then you're trying to rip people off in doing so, then you're not giving them any value. It's God's own laws here. In order for you to succeed, you got to help other people, and you can't help other people by getting them into a scheme. And in your heart, the only people that can make money with a scam are the people who know it's a scam. Number one rule with scams. And then it doesn't last long. One of the biggest crypto influencers out there, he told me, he's like, hey, man, I watch all your videos. I think this guy's, I'm not going to mention his name. Some of you guys probably know who I'm talking about. I think he's bipolar. Some days he's like, hey, bro, hey, good video. And then the next day he's like, I hate you. So that's like bipolar, polar opposites, bipolar. And he's pissed off with me because even with this system, 2 years ago, that I was promoting. That's the founder there. And he's like, oh, I got a bunch of disciples. online here with YouTube, and they're all making, but we all like ran out of stuff to promote because everything that we were promoting scam exited. Now he's found some other stuff, and I just completely ignored the comment. And up to that day, he's still pissed off with me up to now because he was inquiring about getting his affiliates who kept losing hand over fist in crypto, passive systems, and forex deals into this. He called it a scheme. This is a scheme too, as I said, good or bad, right? But this kind of scheme here gives value to people, and he's pissed off with me up to now. Something to think about there. Big crypto influencer, and he keeps coming here every day. Why is that? Because part of him knows that the stuff that I'm sharing is true. And this guy he actually has skill sets that you guys need to learn. But if you learn them, don't promote BS, guys. Promote stuff that'll actually help you. So I'm going to close off with that idea. Okay. If you want to change your life, if you got a job right now, and you want to change your life, then let's go back to your job for 1 second. Whatever you're doing to put food on the table, it has to help. It's most likely helping other people. If you have a job right now, then you help X amount of families by doing whatever you do to earn a paycheck. Now, then you have people, we hear stuff like, or say stuff on Facebook. I see it all the time. Oh, if you have a job, you're building someone else's dream. And then I see people coming on and pumping like crypto and forex scams that keep exit scamming. And you're building like anonymous people's dreams. Still, that's kind of silly. At least with your job that you have right now, you know the employer and they're paying you, and they've been paying you since you've had that job, and since as long as you show up and do whatever they want you to do to earn that paycheck, you get paid, and you're helping X amount of families by doing the activity that you do. But if you want to come online now, or even offline in old school MLM program, right, or a home-based business idea, then the only way to increase your income is to help more families, just like you do at your job. And if you have a job and it's and you're not a crook, right, and you're not in the mafia or an outlaw or something like that, hurting people for money, the majority of people don't do stuff like that. They do stuff like I used to do, drive a truck for a living. Some guys, they operate forklifts. Some guys, they run restaurants. Some people flip burgers for a living. Some people run Fortune 500 corporations for a living. Some people are doctors, right? So you guys are all doing something for a living, and you're helping X amount of individuals. So these are God's own success rules. And the only way to make more for yourself is to give more to other people. And how do you give it to them? You give it to them in value-based information that can help them, right? It can help them because in that value it contains energy, and anything that contains good energy is going to last for a very long time. And stuff that's not built very strong and is weak and is fake and is built on the sand, like Jesus was talking about in the Bible, and not on the rock, then it won't last very long. Okay, so these are the things that we want to think about as investors and as successful entrepreneurs. Isn't that how it is, guys? Isn't it? You ever heard whatever goes around comes around? Cause and effect. It's all energy, energy for energy. So if you're trying to, even if you're in Nigeria, as an example, since I get some comments from pissed off guys who join stuff for free, and they're probably even trying to get out of Nigeria, and then you try and promote something because you don't have to put skin in the game. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. I see a lot of Americans going anonymously on YouTube, and Canadians trying to get their views up to promote schemes like these passive investment schemes that keep scamming out. And then it just doesn't keep working for them. Is it? Because of the value. You gotta leave people in a better position than before they met you. I'm going to close off with one idea. A thought just came to me. I seen a guy. He commented under my video, and he said one of my videos reviews, and it was some other crazy scheme. I mean, Antares trade's probably like 10 times better. I'm not endorsing Antares trade. It's going to scam exit as well. But then he's like, oh, newbies should be joining these passive investment systems because they're going to have more success. Is that really true, though? This person, I don't think, really knows what they're talking about. How could that be? The only way that a person who has no experience or who doesn't want to do anything to change their lives is going to get something from a passive investment system that's eventually going to scam exit. It doesn't have any retailable products or services, and that isn't registered legally anywhere in the world to offer securities, a passive investment opportunity. If a person comes and they want to join one of these deals and they want to click a button and they want to do nothing, the only thing you're going to get is maybe a little bit of excitement. You mark my words. And this channel is like in ground zero of all of this. This is not my first review. This is not my first video. I've been reviewing these type of systems since 2017. I've been doing reviews in MLM since 2013. I've been online since 2006. I've been in the MLM industry since the 80s. Some of you weren't even born back then who are arguing tooth and nail. I've seen a lot of company platform systems come and go. So if you want to click a button and you don't want to do anything, you may get some excitement here and there, but you can't get ahead because you're giving people no value, zero value, and you're not going to get back good energy. You're in a universe of cause and effect, whether you want to believe that or not. And affiliates who are trying to get people into these type of deals because they're like, oh, no one would buy my lotions, potions, and pills. This is not a shortcut. The shortcut is the long cut. I'll close off with that idea. That's it. This pretty well concludes my Antares trade fraud warning update for BC, for Spain, and for Belgium. Big Pyramid.